Hello everybody, my name is Zool, and welcome to another episode of Modding Fallout New Vegas with Mod Organizer. In today's episode, we are going to be enhancing things. We're going to be enhancing the plants, we're going to be enhancing the animals, and the distant terrain. We're going to take boring scenes like this, and we're going to spice them up a little bit by adding a bit more life to them. Particularly with the Wasteland Flora Overhaul, which as you can see, adds some trees to the background, some other great additions as well. We're also going to be enhancing the LOD. This is the long distance textures. If you look at the rocks on the left hand side of the screen, and we will fade in right around here, you'll notice that we are enhancing the textures. There we go, to match much better with the foreground textures. Now we're probably going to be doing a little bit more work on the LOD in a later episode, but for now, this is going to enhance it and make it not stand out so much, which in addition to adding the trees and all that, is going to be great. Another thing we're going to be adding is improved textures for the animals. That's right, so as you can see here, we have enhanced the textures of a lot of the creatures in the Wasteland using a mod called A Book of Water, A Book of Flesh. This is a great mod. It pretty much enhances everything and makes it so that some of the lower res creatures don't stand out as much when we add all the high definition textures in the background. Finally, we're going to add the Vault 21 Flora Overhaul, or the Vault 22 Flora Overhaul, or whatever you want to call it. It overhauls the vault with the plants, and it overhauls it in a big way. I actually did a video on this mod at one point. It's one of the few New Vegas videos I did, and this is a great mod. I'm a huge fan of it. This vault seems very boring until you fade in this, and oh yeah, it looks a lot more appropriate. So that's the basic gist of the mods again. We'll cover them in more detail at a later time. For now, installation. Alright, it's time for the downloading portion of the video. We're going to start off with the Vault 22 Flora Overhaul. You can go ahead to the file section of that mod and download the main file with Manager. After that, we can grab the improved LOD noise texture. You'll notice two main files on this one of them mentioning something called Mod Fusion. Don't download this one. Download the improved LOD noise texture main file right here. Next up is the Wasteland Flora Overhaul. If we go over to the file section of this mod, you'll notice that there's two main versions. There's a fertile version and a dead version. Pick whichever version you would like and download it with Manager. So let's say we're getting the dead version. Download that with Manager. If you're using the dead version, you also need to grab the update. The fertile version you can leave as is. Finally, we are going to go over and go to the Amidian-born Book of Water. If you go over to the file section here, you'll notice that there's a Book of Flesh and a Book of Steel. We are going to go ahead and download both of these. Installation time. For this episode, it's fairly simple. We're going to start off with the Vault 22 Flora Overhaul. You need to click on this and set the data directory down 2 levels until you see the BSA and ESP. Once it tells you everything looks good, click the OK button. It will begin to extract the files. Once you've done that, simply activate the improved LOD noise texture file as well, clicking manual just to make sure everything looks good before hitting OK. When it comes to the Wasteland Flora Overhaul, it depends on which version you're using. Remember only to use one. If you're downloading the dead version, double click on the file, hit manual, and set the data directory appropriately, then click OK. It'll begin to extract the files, and you'll have to wait a moment before you add the update, which is right here. So we're going to click on that and make sure it looks good, hitting manual and setting the data directory on that file as well, hitting merge when asked. If instead you were planning on installing only the fertile version, there's no update required, but everything else remains the same. Now we're going to go ahead and install the Book of Flesh. The Book of Flesh is a great mod. You're going to need to do a manual set data directory style install for this one as well. We're going to hold off on installing a Book of Steel, and that's because we are going to be doing some armor mods later in this guide, and they could cause some problems if we don't install them in the right order, but having it downloaded now is great. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you're wondering what to watch next, I have provided 2 videos for you. You can click them right here. Get subscribed by clicking on that circle icon and subscribing to my channel, and please follow myself and Shoelace on the social medias that you see above. Thank you, and have an excellent day.